Hello everyone. So I want to talk about The Grudge, the movies. Um, so there's basically four of them that I've watched. Um, so the first one of The Grudge was really scary. It really was scary. Um, uh, there was a couple of jump scares. Um, and the part where she went like underneath the uh not the sheets but like under the blanket, when the woman was like under the blanket, you could see like, like a bump coming to her, and then all of a sudden then you see her like her face, and then she grabs the woman and all of a sudden they just disappear. Well, that really terrified me. And the other part about this movie was really scary. Uh, is that you can see like a hallway, um, like a camera, um, thing, like a security, I think, camera. I think. I'm not sure. But she came out of nowhere, and then she popped out of nowhere, like she like it's like she came out of like uh the floor, I would say, and then all of a sudden she just like appeared like full body, and the music, the way how she was going up, that was just creepy. It was that was scary. It gave me nightmares when I saw that. And this movie is really good. Yeah, this movie's really good. I enjoyed it. It was good. Now, The Grudge 2. Um, this one was pretty good too. It had a couple of scary stuff. I would say it's still pretty scary. Um, not gonna lie, it's still pretty good. Um, I think that's all I gotta say. Um, to me, there's not much jump scares to me, but it did have some scary moments happening. And oh yeah, I gotta jump back to the first one. I forgot. There's one part that I gotta talk about. Okay, so there's actually one part that I forgot to talk about. There was this um, woman, that she basically died at the house where the grudge, killed her and all that. So she was at this place. I don't know where it is. It's not a house, but it's some kind of place. And this woman was walking, and then the guy that had the suit on and all that and the glasses, and he was like holding a suitcase, or something, and he said Yoko, and she wouldn't answer, and she's still walking, and you could hear like the wetness, like dripping, like blood, was was like dripping on the floor, and all of a sudden when he walked close to her and she was like walking down the stairs slowly, he slipped on blood, and when he touched the blood with his fingers, and then he called and he's looking at her again, and he says Yoko again, and all of a sudden she stops, right? And then she looks up slowly, and then she turns around, and then she looks at him, and all of a sudden he starts screaming, and then you look at her, and it's like her jaw's like missing, and her tongue sticks out, and all of a sudden it just goes blank. that was that was that was scary. that was really scary. The part where how she was walking, she actually looked like a zombie to me, but that was creepy. All right, back to The Grudge 3. This movie was pretty good, but not as good as the original or 2. I would say I would like the first one way better. it's more terrifying. The second one is pretty good, but not as good as the first one. This one is not bad, I would say. It's still good, but I would say it's not that bad. It's not bad. Still, it's a little scary, but not as much. But it's still good. So, I think I would give this a 5. And The Grudge 2, I would give it a 7. And The Grudge 1, I'll give it a 10. I like it a lot. It's really good. And now the new Grudge that I watched. Well, the problem with this new one, it doesn't have the Grudge like from the original one. It looked like another character that's playing as the Grudge, but she wasn't Chinese. So that's why it wasn't that scary. So, yeah, I watched it today on Netflix, and, yeah. Not too many jump scares, I would say. It's not that scary. So, I would probably give this movie a 2, because it isn't that great. So, but I still enjoyed it, but not as much, Not as much. It wasn't the greatest, and not too many jump scares. No, so this new one's it's not the greatest, but even though I'm still a fan of The Grudge, because it really was terrifying, but like I said, I'll give this a 2 or a 3. I can't say it's a crappy movie, because if I said it was a crappy movie, I would give it a 0. Definitely, but it's not, so it isn't that bad, this movie. It's not that bad, but for other people, they say it's horrible, because I just watched their review. But basically, the first one was actually one of my favorites. It's actually more terrifying. So, I'll give it that.